Oh, okay.
Hey, welcome to Tish and Friends. We have Ebony and Ivory. Ebony and Ivory.
Back together again. And we doing it, yeah. This is how we do it.
Hey guys, welcome to Tish and Friends. I'm Tish Ferguson and my friend today is
Shana Deandrea.
Hey! Hairstylist extraordinaire. She be slaying them. Model, dancer, a mother, a great mother. Oh, you're like a yogi too.
I'm like, this path I'm on, yes, very yogi. It just goes with,
You're like
I need it. Like I need it in my life. Yes, the universe, the yoga. Yoga is my church when I can't go to church on a daily. So it gives me the same satisfaction, honestly, when I leave, when I'm done.
So we're gonna get into all of that about Shana because she's so like, she has so many layers that we're probably not gonna get to even a third of the layers today while I do her makeup. But I'm gonna do a really cute look on Shana that has to do with like graphic liner and stuff. And let's hope that that's what happens because that's the thought in my head. But by the time we get done, it might be something totally different. But Shana has a really good editorial face, so I think I wanna play around with some Makeup Forever liners. So while we do that, while I get this skincare going, let's tell them how we met.
How we met? Wow. Well, we met at the studio at Fox News.
Fox News, guys.
Fox News.
Yeah.
It was so one of those things because, well, getting to know Tish, and it makes sense because I'm all about energy, and
we just like gravitated towards each other.
It was just one of those things where we both started around the same exact time. It was instant like chemistry and just got each other.
First of all, I walked into the studio. We were both working like one of those early like 3:30 shifts, and I was like, "Who is this fly bitch walking up in here?" You had on a pink blazer.
You remember?
Yeah, and it was like mid thigh. And it was just good. It was really good.
Because I was told that pink is my like spirit color, so I was trying something. I never wear color. I always wear black. So I was like, oh, let me try this out. So it grabbed you.
Well, yeah. I love that blazer. I haven't seen you wear it since though.
Really? I have on and off.
It's a really good blazer.
It's hard. That's the thing with colors. I feel also, I mean, I just love neutral black and whatever, but can't wear, like how often can't wear that pink blazer every week. And I'm very much like when I'm going, because I'm so busy all the time, I just grab and go, and I tend to wear the same things all the time, so you can't really pull the bright pink blazer like there she is again.
Didn't she wear that last week?
Because like a lot of the times I buy pieces where you can, like I can wear it with like dress down, sweats, shorts, dress it up, and which I do with the pink blazer, but it's easier to mask when it's just black.
Yeah. So you do hair. What things were you doing before?
I love it. Are you putting them on me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's how you get them, guys.
Oh, yeah. Certain things just grab me. This is one. Just like feels so good.
The only thing about, you know what I'm gonna try today? Because I have these eye patches. They're matcha eye patches. They're really like great. But what I've been noticing is that there's a little piece here that just kind of just gets in the way. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off the little piece so it can fit onto the face a little bit better.
I have a big face, so that don't fit my face.
And see how that works, guys. I'm only saying, guys, like
how I got into hair. I you know, before hair, pre-life hair, I was always an artist in some form. So I was a ballet dancer since I was 3 years old. My ballet teacher was like my second mother, guided me. I was with her every day from, like followed her to studio. And at an early age, she's like, you have to go into the city and have to, pursue this. Like, you can tell as a professional ballerina or an ex-principal dancer that you can look at a 6-year-old, unfortunately, and tell if they are meant to.
Really?
Yeah, it's very apparent, like depending on the turnout, just anything. And I remember going to, when I was 8, I went to Lincoln Center to audition for Meryl Ashley. She was Balanchine, which is, I'm getting deep now, but Balanchine's first principal dancer. And she was starting her own company. And they gave us 8, well, I was one of the youngest, but they gave us, I was 8, this combination where it would tell you if you were ever going to be a prima ballerina.
At 8 years old?
What type of? So, I mean, no fear at 8. So I'm like, okay, Lincoln Center, let me do this. And I was one of the few. Anyway, cut to, I ended up getting 2 knee surgeries. Not from dance, not from anything active. I was in gym, and mind you, I wasn't even supposed to play sports. I was excused from gym just because of that. Like, I mean, for injuries.
Okay.
And I, as a teenager, growing up, I didn't have a normal life in a sense where I, got to hang out after school. I left school early. Like, my mom, was a stay-at-home mom, and I was the only child, and my mom would drive me into Manhattan every day for dance, would help me do my homework. I'm not gonna say do it for me, but help me do my homework while I was in dance from like 2 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Wow. And
that was my life. And teenager does. I got to the point where I felt like I wanted to be a normal kid, and so I started going behind people's backs and doing gym and trying just to prove I'm a very that type of personality where I'm like, I just want to prove that I can do this. Like, I can make the basketball team. I'm athletic, so I
so
tried
you can
out,
be a ballerina, play basketball.
Yeah, it's like, because not being allowed to do something or being told you can't do something is one of the things that you end up wanting to do the most. So I tried out for the traveling team for basketball.
Oh, I'm like, traveling team, so it was sports to just travel? Okay. Oh, basketball
traveling team. And we were doing a drill, and my friend at the time, she's still my friend, but that I grew up with since I was in kindergarten.
You always gotta put that memo out.
And I don't know, I'm not saying anything, but we collided, and I blew my ACL and my meniscus. Yeah, running, she like knocked into me, I flew up in the air, landed. Boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. And that was it. And it was a really tough time because it was almost like telling someone they can't walk again. And I had to wait a whole year to even get the second surgery because my growth plate wasn't closed at the time. And I was walking around for a year like crippled.
Intense.
Yeah, it was really intense, and people really wanted me to, like, doctors wanted me to go talk to somebody for like a mental, because it was
because you were destined to be like an amazing ballerina,
right? Like, I was going to Juilliard, like my whole life was planned, right? God says. I mean, that was my first big aha moment of that, and I couldn't wrap my head around it then, but looking back, that was, everything does happen for a reason, but you couldn't tell me that then, so I went through like a tough couple of years.
And how old were you?
When that happened, I was like, teenager, so the first surgery was at 15, then I got it again when I was 16, and then I went back to ballet, but as much as I was a creative, I was a realist at a young age, and even though, yes, my dream and my passion was to perform and be on stage, I also had like a business aspect to me where I'm like, well, how, like, I need to like make money too. And obviously I wasn't gonna go to Juilliard anymore because just like any athlete, if you're hurt, you're like collateral, you're damaged. So I always went to this one salon my whole life, Diva Spa. It's New Jersey. It's one of the biggest salons in the tri-state, and they're very, like, the caliber of them, you know, they're known. They have a lot of companies, and they have an artistic academy for a beauty school. And I mean, I started going there when I was a kid. Like, I would have my birthday parties at the salon, like at Cuts for Kids. Like, I was attached to that salon. Like, I was like, yeah. So it was weird.
That's some real Jersey shit to do.
Is it really?
Yes.
I would have my birthday parties at a hair salon. Like, I remember, like, it was awesome. Because my birthday's in January. Like, what can you do in January, really? And my hairstylist at the time was like, Shana, because your hair and makeup people become your, you know, they know everything about you. So she knew everything about me. She knew that in my ballet company, I would do everybody's hair. She knew, like, I mean, ask my friends growing up, I'd do everybody's hair, but not realizing it, you know? Like, I would do their hair for the 8th grade dance, and I would be the last one to always get ready. I would do their hair for prom. Like, I was just always doing hair. And I didn't, it's not like it was like, oh, I'm meant to do this, but obviously I was. It was meant to be part of my life, but it didn't excite me. I was just good at it. It wasn't like, I think for me now, it's like more of a purpose for me rather than like, I don't know. It was just, it came to me naturally. So she's like, why don't you just go to our hair school? It's 10 months. At least you'll have your license in the back of your pocket, and you can continue to figure out what you want to do. And it was just, from that moment, it was a domino effect. I went to hair school, got my permit, you know, you get your halfway hours, you're able to work. They asked me to work in the salon because, like, I was a great student, never missed a day. So they're like, it was hard to get a job at that salon, and I didn't, like, I felt pressed to say yes because it was an honor to get asked to work there. So I said yes. So I would go to school from like 8 to 3 and then work from 4 to 10. Like, it was crazy. So I worked there for, you know, in a regular salon. I mean, not regular, it's, like I said, it's, I mean, pretty high end. And but working there, 2 years, the boss and people that knew me were like, this isn't what you're supposed to do.
You're not supposed
to be in a salon. So I'm like, yep, because I couldn't do anything.
As most of us are not supposed to be in a salon, but everybody want to be in a salon because it creates security and you need to just jump out.
Yeah, and the thing about us is, like, the more uncomfortable we are, like, the better you work. And I, like, sitting there looking around and, no, listen, how you choose to do your days, and it depresses me to know that I know exactly what I'm doing every single day and who I'm going to see, what I'm going to do, covering gray, like the same old thing. And I'm looking around and I'm like freaking myself out, like, this isn't my life. Like, I can't do this, because you get comfortable and you get stuck, and that I don't like that complacent. Like, I don't like feeling that. So then I moved to Manhattan. Again, like, moving to the city, I found a place in Manhattan, like, because I still wanted to pursue, like, dance and acting. Okay. So I moved to the city, and I found the first original blow dry bar, which was called Blow, B-L-O-W, in the Meatpacking. That was, you know, people that work at, well, Jamie, like, he worked there. It was an amazing place, and somehow, like, everyone jokes with me, Shane, I don't know how you got this, your situation there, but I pretty much would tell the manager when I could work. And then, like, even if I had to go on an audition, I would leave and come back, because it was in such a great area that it was always busy. Like, you didn't have to have a clientele, you know? Okay. You know, because it was just so
that's helpful.
busy, so it was helpful. And then, back then, there was no, like, apps like Glam Squad, which I helped start up. Like, I was one of the first stylists to be asked to work there.
Really?
Yeah, because I was at Blow, and it got sold, new owners took it over, and behind everyone's back, the guy was gonna sell it and not tell anybody. And so and thankfully I did have other things going on for me, but it was like 2 weeks and we heard that it was gonna be sold and no one was gonna have a job anymore. So one of the managers at the salon at the time got brought on board to Glam Squad, and the creative director of Glam Squad and the CEO called me in, and I was one of the first 3 people ever hired. And so it was a crazy transition how it overlapped like that. But before Glam Squad, like, I would go to all the, you know, you name it, like the president of Barney's, like Alice and Olivia, the creative director, you know, like I would go into these people's offices and do their hair, and we would charge a lot of money, you know, like because it's a very, you know,
because when you're providing a service to someone like
especially
on site,
traveling, and
which a lot of people don't even understand.
They don't understand that. But then it was great because we really got treated like our work was valuable, you know. And
so you feel like that's changed?
In a sense, I think it's changed because there's so much more. It's just the industry is more saturated in different options and cheaper options. It's not the best. Probably it's not the quality. It's the quantity. So there's more quantity of, you know, people. Okay, I don't want to pay your price, so I'm going to go elsewhere. That's where the union and everything else, and having other, you know, just people that really respect you and can vouch for your talent, because you can't put a price on that. And I've lost. Well, I've chose to lose certain things because it's just not worth it anymore, because my time is like my time, my work is my work. So if you want to go to a different fast food, you know, environment, then that's on you, but I'm not fast food. Right. Like my resume is not you know,
come on now, Morton Steakhouse.
Yeah. With the truffle on top. I have the truffle sauce. With the lobster tail. Alright, that's I'm serious. So it's just like, it kind of, but honestly, like, coming to find, like, I'm not, like, people are like, alright, well, I'll go elsewhere. Alright, go elsewhere. But that forces you to be uncomfortable, and then you get put in other lines of opportunity. And that's my life, you know, and I'm okay, because my mindset, I'm very open to change. And with Fox, like, I'm a single mom, and I don't live in New York anymore, so I don't hustle. I'm not able to hustle even if I wanted to, because I can't just like in 10 minutes be in the city. Right. Where before it was like a client would be like, hey, I need you in like 10 minutes. Okay, and so I'm not accessible to people anymore. Okay. As accessible, you know, and because that was a lot of my phone calls, and that's how I made a lot of my money, and that's how I got into Fox. It was like, I need something a little bit more of substance, where like I can, you know, make good money and be a little bit more consistent, but still have the freedom. Right. Because
as a freelancer.
As a freelancer, and it's been a blessing, because it's not easy. It's not easy trying to do what you really want to do and be able to support not only yourself but like somebody else by yourself.
So how do you balance being a mom, being a freelance hairstylist, and also having a life? Because you have a life. If you follow her on Instagram, she has a life, y'all. A whole life.
And people joke around like, that's 15, you post too much. I was like, that's only 20% of things that I even will be posting, because I don't want to get you all in my business. But
so how do you find balance? Like, did you...
Listen, I'm very blessed. Like, I might be the only parent active and in my son's life, but yes, being in the city was going to be easier for me, but for my, like that, a little bit of freedom and time, I moved back to Jersey because my parents, like, I wouldn't be able to have, like, I'm very blessed. Like, if anything, like, and also my mindset, because I never, yes, I'm a mom. Right, and I will never judge other mothers or anything, but I'm just not, I knew I was never going to be a mother like my mom was, where my mom gave up her life for me, and yes, a part of me will always have sacrifice, like I do every day. I do something that's sacrificing once you have kids, but my mom, you know, gave up her job, like literally it was just about me, and I knew I wanted both. Like, I wanted, and I have a son, and it's great because I want him to see like my work ethic, and I still have dreams, and I'm still finding myself every single day, like, and changing. And I didn't want to lose myself, because I know you have to know yourself and have to be real with yourself, and I know I would get into not a happy place. So for me, I am, like, if anything, I'm very lucky to have my mom and dad, because they don't my dad's retired, my mom doesn't work, so it's allowed me to have a little bit of a life.
Yeah. And you're basically, when you still pursue your dreams after having kids, you're putting yourself first, not in a selfish way, but in a selfish way, so that you can be the best mother that you can possibly be.
Because again, like being a ballerina first, like I have to work out. Like if anyone knows me, if I don't do some form of like fitness or something, like I just don't feel like myself. So my mom knows that, and sometimes like people that aren't that way don't understand, and I don't expect them to, but I'm just telling you, I'm a different person when I don't do it. Like I just am. And even though like it'll be 12 hours, my mom's like, watch my son, because I work to 12, like our shifts, our stuff is not like quick sometimes, but sometimes you're on set for a day. And I'm like, I gotta get a workout in, and my mom just knows. She's like, okay, like. But now my son's gotten to the age where he'll work out with me, which is awesome. Like,
that's fun.
Yeah, I mean he won't do the exact same stuff, but I'll get him on his scooter, and like even if it's just a quick run, I just need that, like I don't know, I just need that. That's my escape, and I'm a better person when I do it.
What's one of your daily mantras?
I have to, there's a lot, but if I have to choose one at the top, is to just trust in like whatever I'm going through, it's meant to happen. And so every day I wake up and I trust like what my day is going to bring me, and even if it's not perfect, I want to be able to appreciate the day still. Because life is so short, and you know, we spend a lot of time complaining, and I'm guilty of that, but everything, again, like I said, happens for a reason, and trusting that, because God's huge in my life too, and I just really put him first and know that I'm never alone, you know, and I've created like a very safe place for myself where I'm like, I have full trust in him. Right. So therefore I trust myself to make the right decisions.
Come on now, preaching. You went to church this Sunday, didn't you?
I went to church, late last night, so I'm still fresh. Hasn't even been 24 hours. I love everybody. I love all my friends. I love people I grew up with. But finding yourself and like just the paths that my life has taken me on. You know, like meeting you and how like we're able to talk about God. Like you can't just do that with anybody, or even like being spiritual, and I'm a deep person, and I need that as well in my life, to be able to express and have those conversations, because it makes me feel better. You know,
it would make most people feel better if they tapped into that, but
I know
not many people do. No, unfortunately,
they don't. Not at all.
So we put on mink lashes, and what you have to do with lashes sometimes is customize them.
And she did. She cut into them like I would do with hair. Like, literally. It was cool to see.
And now they're perfect. Yeah! Nothing works.
What kind of makeup do you like to do the most?
What kind?
Like, you know, obviously we don't really love doing TV makeup because it's like I feel like it's not as creative. Do you like to do more creative things, or is it more so like, you know?
You know what? I don't even know, because I don't get a chance to do them. So it's like I'm trying to figure out.
Chance to do what?
Like creative stuff.
Really?
Everything is the same thing. Everybody does a one-trick pony. Same eye, same lip. Like I'm about to do a graphic liner on you. Or a colored liner, and I don't know if I have one client that would let me do a color liner on them.
Are you going to do a colored liner on me?
Yeah, I did a purple on the top, and I'm going to accentuate a little bit more. Look up.
Up? If there's something that you would want to do, what would it be that you haven't done?
I don't know if there's. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I have not done a ball cap.
Oh, you did.
And
say
I
that.
want to do a ball cap, and I'm gonna have to do a ball cap soon.
I love wearing a ball cap.
Really?
Yeah.
We're gonna do that one day because I want to do a ball cap and like do some like, you know what I mean? Just like splatter paint on you. Like it would be great. I'm bored.
No,
okay.
no.
That's cool.
Your dreams of a ball cap. Look up.
Yeah.
Every time I get my makeup done though, or like, you know, have proper makeup on, I'm like, no, this is why girls wear makeup. I don't know. I think it's also because I work out and sweat, and so I'm not one of those that will wear a full face of makeup to the gym, and then I hate washing it off. I just choose not to put it on. I'm like, well, this is how I get a husband.
So, so what is your makeup routine?
I am like, if I wear makeup, if it's tinted moisturizer, definitely an eyebrow.
What tinted moisturizer do you use?
You know, I go back and forth. I have Laura Mercier, which I love, and then I have Perricone.
Oh, yeah.
I like that because it's so light. Like I don't like the way I look with heavy. I just think I look weird. I don't know, it's weird. Unless like I have someone professional doing my makeup and it's like a purpose for a purpose. I don't feel that confident with a ton of makeup on. I'm like the opposite.
Wow.
Like I feel more confident with less. I feel more like myself maybe because I'm not the best. Like I'm not gonna spend like an hour trying to do my makeup or perfecting. Like I need my eyelashes to be worked on. So I just choose to carry that naked, bare look, and you can't really mess that up. So,
well, you wear it well.
Yeah. So the eyebrows, tinted moisturizer, some type of bronzer. You know, blush maybe. But
It doesn't matter what type of bronzer.
no,
You don't want to look.
No, you don't want to look at my makeup.
Oh, your makeup bag
God.
looks crazy.
Yeah, you want to see what I carried my makeup in today? You'd be very upset. No, it's really embarrassing. Like anytime, oh, let me see what you use, and they're like, how do you even have a fate? Like, how do you even like have a look with this stuff? I've gotten better. I'm getting better. I have one brush for everything.
What?
Yeah.
How?
No.
So do you use your fingers mostly to
I use
apply?
my fingers a lot.
Okay.
Yes, like with concealer. I mean, I do have one nice foundation brush I'll use for like the tinted moisturizer, and then I have one blush brush, but that's it. That's all I have. With brushes. Oh, my eyebrow brush. That's great.
I guess.
Yeah.
You always be sneaking and trying to steal all of
Oh
my
my
stuff.
gosh, I do. So that's the thing. Here is, if anyone knows me, who's like been around me, I can. It's almost like when someone else cooks for you, it tastes better. So when I go in and I like creep in, and I'll especially at 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't walk into work with makeup on at Fox.
Do any of us?
Oh gosh, some people do, which I don't know how you do it. But anyway, I like will creep into Tish's room and I want to use her eyebrow, like. And even if I buy the exact same thing, it just doesn't look the same. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
So because it's in my kit,
yes,
it's
different. It's different. That's why people get mad at me. Oh, you pick up my food. It's like, 'cause it just tastes so much better than it's yours.
So are you that girl on a date?
Girl. I'm that girl. And you know what? Over the summer, I was dating somebody. I guess if you want to call it that. We're gonna really talk about my dating life. Like, it's not safe, but he did not mind the whole food picking thing. But
that's great.
Yeah, so I really thought he was the one, but definitely not. So that goes out the door, you know. And I remember even telling my dad, because my dad hates that about me. Like my mom, as a joke, bought one of those like forks that you like pull out, like long. It's almost like a back scratcher, but it's a fork. And like and my dad's 86, so like I'll go over his shoulder and like grab it. Oh my god, he gets so mad at me. So like, Dad, I found a guy that likes, because he likes to pick food too. He's like, he started laughing so hard, but it's not what was up. So
I hate that actually. That is a pet peeve of mine. People picking in my plate. Because
oh yeah, I know people that have that pet peeve are
like
really nasty about it. I'm like, it's really not that serious. Like, we're breaking bread. Like, I think that's like a sign of like comfort. That's a sign for me. That's a sign of comfort. Now, if you're just anybody, no, I don't want you to like, I don't know. But you can pick up my stuff all day long.
I don't know. It's always like, because I don't like to share, but I'm also a giver. So like, I'll get you your own plate. You want the same chicken parmesan that I have? Well, I'll get you a separate one, but this is mine. And until I'm ready to share, don't ask me.
Taste. Because I'm very much too about portions, so I don't like a lot of food. So just like a little bit. So I don't want my whole piece of cake. I just want a piece. I just want to taste it. I want my own piece. I don't want, because I'm not wasting, or I'm not making, I don't know. It's just, it's a very difficult thing for me, and people that hate it,
I'm starting to get better.
I get upset.
I let you take from my plate, like, but you also know how to ask me. Like, if you see I'm not eating a piece of bread
that's
or
true.
something,
And I've done that to you. Like,
yeah,
there'll be like a sliver of bacon, and I'm like, waiting for you not to touch it. I'm like, she can eat that piece. And then I'll be like, literally take it, and you know, like. And I can tell sometimes, because it will be at 4 a.m. Like, we go to that deli. I'm like, no, I'm good, I'm not hungry. And then I'm like watching her eat. And I'm like, oh, that's the perfect piece right there. She can eat that. That's exactly what I want.
You know what I want to ask you? We are in 2019. And you can answer it or not answer it. And I want to know, because of your preference in men.
Okay.
Do you find that in 2019, that there's still a stigma attached to interracial dating?
Yeah, definitely.
What has been like your experience?
On which end? There's
Shana is, you're Italian, correct?
Italian, and my mother has a little German in her.
So just a bit, when I met Shana, I was like, there's no way.
You know. Because my hair is naturally curly too, so
it's something. Yeah. Like, there's like 30%, somebody's not telling you something.
Yep. No, you're not the only person. I've dated guys where like they wanted like a black woman, because that's just, I get it, a lot of the times it's just nice to have some type of whatever symmetry, like Italians with Italians. It's just like a culture thing sometimes.
Yeah.
So it will be like a couple months in, and I don't know if I just share a family picture, and they're so confused.
Dudes never thought that you were white.
No, never. It's a weirdly awkward conversation. Like, just because when you have your own, like, or even like as little as I thought someone at work was a lot younger than they actually were, and like you're just thrown off because you looked at this person
and you just automatically assumed.
Yeah, and you're confident about it. You're like, no, and so it's funny.
Crazy.
Yeah, like, wait, so you're nothing. Like, you're not mixed at all. Like, look, I'm mixed. Crazy. Like, I have this and that, but not. And and there's a fine line too. Like, this new manager that I signed with on the West Coast, she sent me and she knows. Like, I actually had to ask her. I'm like, you know I'm not black, right? Because she sent me the role was a mixed girl, and I know it's acting, but again, the climate that we're in,
be authentic.
I want to, when it comes to that, I want to be authentic and be like, oh well, people that are lesbians or that aren't gay play gay people, and and I understand that, but I don't know, there's just something about that with me, because I've dealt with personal things in my life where I'd rather just not, as much as I
respect that.
Yeah, I don't know, and I've taught, and with me, like, I'm very, like, I need to communicate, so I don't make it just, like, in my gut and in my soul, like, I have a decision, but, like, I would call you, or I would call, like, other people and, like, ask them for advice. Like, I'm not gonna take my white manager's advice and, like, think she's gonna maybe guide me
Right.
in the
That's
right direction.
that's how people get caught the fuck
You know,
up.
like I want to make sure that you know, whatever. So I just, yeah, it is one of those things where I think also because I mean, I've dated all races, but I know my spiritual healer told me I just connect with a certain type of person, and it might have been a past life thing. It might have been because I believe in that stuff too, but I just, yeah, but I am who I am, and I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm about like who I click with, and there's, and I don't think just because I have a type, like I'm not open. I'm open to other things as well.
It's just you've dated.
Yeah, I've dated. I've dated old, short, tall,
old, short, tall,
stout, round. You know,
I don't think
dark,
I've ever dated ugly though.
I don't know.
You don't date ugly.
I don't date. I know, like normally the men, even if they're totally false advertisement, at least their advertisement is appealing and they know how to carry themselves. But no, I don't date ugly. Different, but not ugly. Like, people like think they're ugly, but they're just like there's something different you know, about them. Like, where it's like I'm not the Brad Pitt girl. You know, like you're too. I don't know. His breath probably stinks. Like there's something. He just doesn't do it for me. It's just like he's too perfect or too pretty. Like, cause you ever look at somebody and you're like, I don't know what it is about them. They're perfect. Their nose is shaped perfect. Like what you would put on a piece of paper would be perfect, but yet it just doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't tickle my fancy at all. So
I've been there.
Yeah. And no, and also like finding somebody, being a single mom was a tough one, you know. But you gotta keep.
How is it dating as a single mother?
Oh, well, for me,
because I know guys that will not date.
Yeah.
Women with children.
Yeah, there's been that. Then there's been a lot of that. And then there's been guys that love that because it's like, oh, you got your shit together. You can take care of me if you can, you know, like especially as a very single mom.
Yeah, because even
like
when I was on the market, there were guys that looked at me like I was crazy because I'm my age and I don't have children. Yeah, and it was a turnoff.
Where they judge you. Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, no, I'm a career woman too, and I want to, and I listen, like, if I didn't just have a kid, like I didn't, not that I didn't plan, but it was a very spontaneous thing. Like it was planned, but it was quick. I would have, it would have been, I probably still wouldn't have kids right now. Like I really, just because you get caught up in your, like we are career women.
Yeah.
So it's saved me, having my son has saved me and has, because I probably would be dating still like men that don't, I don't know, that have no substance or that, I don't know, my son has really filtered out a lot of those men because one, okay, it gets rid of the men that are scared to date women with kids. It gets rid of the men that can't handle like certain things. You know, and I have certain standards now, and like that's filtered out so much as well. And people just don't understand. Or like some guys, even guys with kids, like that know that I'm also a single mom, and they like ask me to hang out at 11 o'clock at night. It's like, what? Like, yeah, let me just leave my son in bed and let me just hop in my car and go meet you. Like, just so the red flags are a lot easier to see.
Okay, okay.
Let me tell you, like easier revealed, that's for sure. My advice to single women is don't, you know, you can't
single moms.
Single moms. Just don't. Yeah, single moms. Sorry, yeah, single women and single women. You gotta keep your standards, what your standards are. And like I felt myself getting frustrated because I'm like, I've been alone for a long time, and it would be nice to just like, you know, my focus is my son, but and I get so much love and everything from him, but it's just different.
Yeah.
You know, like, obviously.
You want a companion.
Yeah, and I'm not looking for a father, and that's the thing
Yeah.
too. But
do men think that you're like looking for the next father of your child?
They don't say it, but I know that's what they think. You know what I mean? And whatever. And you know what? If you don't, and that's the thing too. Like I want like the guy to feel like that's something that is in his near future, because I come with baggage. So, and it's great baggage, mind you. But it's like that's my reality. So it's not changing. And especially because there is no, like my dad's in my son's life, but there's no other, you know, it's not like he goes every other weekend somewhere, you know, with his, whatever you want to call it, but I can't, yeah, but it's tough. And I just, again, I think I'm hoping, you know, God willing, I did find a gem that gets it, and I don't even have to explain that. You know what I mean? Because when it's easy and it just clicks, and like I said, there are some men that just, it's in them to be a certain way when it comes to understanding like a mother and like what she, you know, has to do and stuff. So I mean, even dads are actually dads don't even get it. So it takes a strong person, and that's what I need. Like someone that is mentally strong and is, you know, willing to take the challenge of me and when I'm.
Well, they better hurry up and scoop you up.
Well, that's
before you're off the market.
Listen, I feel like I don't know if I should talk about this on here, but when you know, and I feel like I've gone backwards in my life where I've always been in a relationship ever since I was in preschool. I swear to you. I swear to God.
Preschool?
I'm telling you.
Who are you?
Yes, and like
preschool?
I'm telling you, I was that girl. I would push my little boyfriend in the closet and like I was like in high school. I was most likely to win an Oscar, but also most likely to get married. Like I was
really?
Yes, I was never single. I think that was my problem. So becoming a mom, I went backwards. That's the first time, right when I became a mother, I became single. So
wow,
I've had a lot of experience in dating different types of people, and it's been telling. And now that like all summer, like I prayed for certain things and kind of wanted a man, meet a guy in church, and I kind of did. And so it's very like clear, you know. It's not confusing, and it's not hard. Like relationships aren't easy, but there's a difference. So with the people in the past, like if I didn't go through that, then I wouldn't recognize like the real, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't recognize it. And so I appreciate all the you know what's.
You know what's so crazy?
I'm saying
though?
Bye now because you lost your chance.
Yeah.
All of you. I'm gonna have to write you all on a text and send all. I'm gonna send you all the same text message. Okay? Books
all the same text.
An automated message when you text me. You're gonna get boom. Dear user. Snooze, you lose. You don't do right by some. Like, listen.
Yeah. For real.
It's okay.
Because I got people in my DMs.
What am I looking over them? No, it's crazy, and they know. Like, we went to church last night. It was like our second date. We went to church, and my phone was blowing up. And like from the past of the past, and like
it's like they smell when
smell.
Something good is happening.
Oh, it's testing. It's testing you. You can't fall. It's like, you know, nope, not this time. You can't. You gotta really like. It's funny. It's funny.
I had a housewarming. Dude was like, so no invite to the housewarming?
Oh yeah.
I don't think my man would like that. I'm sorry.
We're like,
like what?
No, it's hysterical. And then there's the guys that, you know, they had nothing going on. They had the chance to court you, but no one does that anymore. And then when they see that you got a man, then they go in hard. It's like seeing a wedding ring. It's like more of a challenge almost. Oh God, it's so gross.
You snooze, you lose.
So you snooze, you lose, and I feel like I got a really good, you know, scenario here. So I'm gonna keep praying. Gotta do the work, man.
Kudos to love, man.
Yeah, because I love love.
Because when we first met each other,
we were so single. We were so lost.
Single.
We were like,
and trying to really
we come
figure
in and
it
like,
out.
I'm so excited about this one.
Yes, right.
Like
a week later.
It's
over.
No.
Oh, I met this other guy and we went to dinner and it was so amazing. And then
he flew me
later,
first class and he came into the airport and actually met me in the airport. It's just like the things we tell is just crazy.
And then we're like, oh, and then I found out he had a wife. Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, we've got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Got a couple of them.
Oh man.
It's crazy. I know. And so that's why it's like when a man knows what he wants and he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and you know what? And when you're a woman that knows what they want,
yes,
you can see that when it's there.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's so true. And so it's been like not long, it's been a month, but it's been a pleasure getting to know, you know, this person and like because I can tell he puts me first, like already, you know, and my son first, which is like you know, he always includes no matter what and make sure that I, you know, have him handled. But yeah, so when we first met, we were, and now
mad single, and now with mad boot up.
She got a husband.
Dee-da-da, boot up. What? I have a boyfriend.
But Tishy girl's no girlfriend. You're a wife.
I'm a wife. You see how your friends just be uplifting you and stuff?
Yeah, I'm saying like that's, you know, it's fine to be a girlfriend, but you know.
You know, one day.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It's super important to me to be able to share.
That's what I mean.
My faith.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that was the one, like we were talking about before. Dating all these guys that like, you know, you felt hidden, you felt like not included in their world and couldn't be, and all this riffraff. And I walk in, this guy like holding my hand, like bring me into his space, his church, and like, I don't know, it was like, usually that's what I do. So it was nice for it to be the other way around for once in my life, and like, because it's important to me, and it's the first time that it's reciprocated where it's just as important to him without me having to say anything, you know? And I've never had that, so this is all like new.
That's a great feeling when you're usually the person that's doing something and then this guy just comes out of nowhere.
Yes, literally out of nowhere, and it's just like you're a person. Yeah, being on the same page is everything. So yeah, it's like I'm glad because your faith, my faith, we all got faith. So what else? How am I looking? Emergency services. I don't even know. But I don't even know how to ding the thing. I pressed it. Didn't work. How do you do the emergency services?
So your phone calls emergency services?
Yeah, but how did it do that?
I don't know. But that's happened to me before. I had my phone in my pocket in the club. I'm dancing, whatever.
Mama, help me.
And then my phone is trying to like call. I look at my phone and it's locked because it calls all of these emergency services. And then when your phone calls emergency services, it calls your emergency contact. And my emergency contact is my mom. And so my mom's blowing my phone up. Like, what's going on? And I don't live with my mom, so it's really like, at what age does your mom not become, your mom or your dad not become your emergency contact? I feel like after I turned 30, it was a thing. Like, damn, I'm still putting my mother down.
How do you think I feel? Even at my son's school, it's like his, you know, it's me and then my parents as the emergency contact. It's like, God, these poor people. I want them to relax. Like, my dad's 86, my mom's still young, 65, but they deserve to not be
an emergency
call you when I get my car towed in the city and then leave my keys in the cab so that I can go get my car and my mom has to come from New Jersey. Like, can I just have someone that's there?
Right.
Like, I can count on, but
what's so crazy is that, like, something so little as putting down an emergency contact triggers all these things as a woman, like, so when am I gonna get married? And when is this gonna happen? And when is that gonna happen? All because you had to put down an emergency contact.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's crazy.
I know. It's like a weird turning point in life. But
I can't wait till I can change my emergency contact. Well, I can't wait. Because when you change your emergency contact, that means like things.
You gotta change your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you changed everything.
That's really serious. That's like really serious. So, whenever God says it's time for my emergency contact
it will happen.
Then right.
It will happen. So, well, listen. When I become a consistent working actress, you're just gonna be my friend.
Oh yeah,
so
I need a friend like that.
Yeah, I need a friend like that too. That's just like, well, like that also is like badass because you won't let people walk all over me because you're like, you have that personality where it's like, no.
And you know what? I do that with most of my clients.
Yeah,
like I become like their gatekeeper.
That's how I feel when you're around. It's like.
Like, I play no games. Like, you're not gonna...
You know what I like about Tish too? Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story, even though I'm not gonna say names, I'm not gonna say the exact situation, but when we first started, you know, again, like, we're in an environment, like, at networks, like, it's like anything else, like, corporate, like, a little bit of drama, and there's this silly thing going around about, you know, that, like, me liking somebody that wasn't true, and I remember you just like stood like totally like, you know, directly but indirectly, so it wasn't obvious, like, girl, she don't want him, like, and like, you know what type of people she dates a certain type of man, like, that ain't
because you ain't about to try to play my homegirl and think that
like let's not even
she wants your general population ass dude. No, she doesn't.
No, and so I was like, look at her, like, because it always sounds better coming from someone else, and just how you say things like transfers a lot better and clearer.
I feel like I could have no filter at times.
Oh, it's great. So I was like, all right, she's down with me.
Because I hate when people just...
Yeah, like, what did you say? You said something, like, Shana wants the... Oh, I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it was funny. It was about, like, you know, something... You just... I don't know. I don't remember the analogy you used, but it was hysterical. I was laughing so hard.
Because one thing I will say is that I think what also gravitated, you know, us together is because, I don't even know if that's a saying, but what also pulled us together is that we are women that have a certain standard when it comes to men, and that's the things that we would talk about, and it felt like we were single because of our standards. We was going through dudes like on different dates, because as soon as like something popped up that was not in our standard, it's like we're not messing with it.
I wasn't feeling
I don't care if you're a producer, I don't care if you're a retired basketball player, like, and we was dating the creme de la creme, okay? And it was just like, if you, who cares?
Oh yeah, no
one cares.
Like, no one cares, and it's like, yeah, I think my last, whatever you want to call it, situation in the beginning of the summer, like, I was excited about, but like, it was all the wrong things. It was like, you know, secondary stuff. Like, I can't even have an in-depth conversation, or like, you called me too deep, or you're all about God.
Oh yeah.
you're just too deep for me. I don't know how to respond to that. It's like, ugh, okay.
I hate that.
You say you go to church, but you don't, and then you have Corinthians tattooed all over you.
Woo!
But I can't even have a conversation.
Speak on it.
I can't even have a conversation about
Speak on it.
my church service I just went to, and I'm like, you know, trying to bless you because you're so busy. So here, this is what was said in church today, and it's like not, yeah. So yeah, the creme of la creme isn't always so creme of la creme. You know, like, and it's, you know, people are like, oh, he's rich, he's this, and it's like, just because you're rich doesn't mean you're rich. Just because you're rich does not mean that you're
Bars.
rich. And it's like, but it takes a certain type of woman to actually understand what that is. And it's like, and that's fine. Like, if that's your thing, but it's not, it's surface level. It's not of substance. And I think that's what I realized, like, that's the most important thing to me. Like, the money comes and goes, and you being famous, like, oh my god, like, it's just so lame, you know, at the same time.
Like, no one cares.
Yeah, no one cares. Like, no one cares.
Things like that don't excite me.
No.
Spirit, character, that excites me.
Me too. Oh, me too. It's so important to me. And like, when someone tells me you don't need things, I only want you to want things and not need things. And I'm like,
right?
Are you alright? Like, I don't know if this is, I just don't, I agree with it because in the moment I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm like, wait a minute, no, this is not what I believe in. And like, yeah, I want to just want things. I don't want to have to need things, but then there are things that I need.
Yeah. But
I don't need them, but if I have someone, that's what I want.
Right.
I need
but what I will say is this, like, so there's a thing where like there's women that need a man to complete them.
Right. There's a difference.
But you want a man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't need him to do X, Y, and Z.
No.
But it's something that you want.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to explain. It's like, no, I don't, man, I've been supporting, living myself. I've been alone for a very long time. And I don't need a man. Yes, I want a man. And when I invite you into my life, then there's certain things that I need, and like if you're a part of my life, like conversations, like communication, inclusion, you know, just.
But you know, there are people that have save-a-hole complex, men and women.
Save-a-hole?
So yeah, save-a-hole.
Okay.
So they need somebody to need them.
Yes, and those are the ones that say they don't want.
Right.
It's like, wait, hold on a minute. Like,
but they need
I'm confused
someone
about
to
that.
need them. Like, I'm attracted to the guy that like wants to do things for me because he sees that I do it for myself.
Yes. Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let me pay for her nails because like she goes, she's already doing it. Because a real man only wants, like, they don't want to just be tricking on somebody just to be tricking on them. Like, they want to see that you can do for yourself.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I have to get better at like accepting, because you know, the person that I'm talking to now, like I have to allow him to do, because I'm just so used to doing everything myself, and then like I never met someone that wanted to really do those things for me and actually enjoys it, you know? And I have to like be a little bit more, what's that called? Like, submissive? Does that sound right?
That's usually what women struggle with, being submissive.
I don't. Like, not in like a whatever way. Like, nah, I got it. Like, do you want me to carry? No, I got my own bag. But I don't even know if that's submissive, but anyway.
Well, if a guy wants to carry your bag, you're not being submissive if you don't let him carry your bag.
Okay. So,
and I find that I have that issue. There's plenty of times my man trying to open the door for me.
And you don't even recognize he's doing it. You're just like stepping on him. Like you're stepping on him to be able to open the door for yourself. And it's like,
and he'll just stand there like,
what the hell are you doing?
be nice if I could do that for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that really bothers a man that really like enjoys doing that stuff. You'll learn.
I don't do it all the time. I'm getting better. But that's also, sometimes you don't realize that you're doing stuff. So you have to be with people that know how to communicate.
Yes.
I'm not going to curse. Communicate.
Communicate.
Because if you didn't communicate that it was something I
and you have to do that, and he has to nip that, like, and that's what I appreciate. Someone that like nips that stuff in the butt right away. Because if you don't have a voice and you don't communicate those things, like in the beginning, then like that becomes your normal, and then that's how people become unhappy because it's like, well, you were cool with it the first 3 months. I've been this is what happens when you're alone for so long. You really and you date the wrong people. I'm serious. Like, you know, you find out what works and what doesn't. So whoever's gonna be dating me is gonna get like the best of me because I've learned a lot. So. But yeah, that's huge. You have to, and you know what? If you can't, this has turned into a relationship thing. But listen. Anyway, it's important because like we never had anyone that we really cared about.
Yeah.
So I found myself, if you can't, you know, oh, it's too soon to say like X, Y, and Z. If it's the right person, they will really appreciate and they would want to hear what's on your mind, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Like I want to know what's in your mind.
Yeah.
That's like you. And if the person judges you for that or says you're too deep or too this or too that, then that's not the person for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because again,
you'll never be two of anything if that's the person that you're supposed to be with.
Yes.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's so true. It's so true. Because then that's how you develop bad habits. You don't want that.
You're deep.
Right? Look how blue my eyes are. Wow. That is dope.
Thanks for joining me, Shana, for Tish and Friends. I had fun.
Ebony and Ivory out.
Ebony and Ivory.
Until next time, I'm back.
This is so good! Yes!
What's my theme song?
Why am I so fucking high?